Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. A recently published video has offered a rare glimpse into one of the United States Air Force's most secretive and intriguing units, nicknamed the Red Eagles. This covert group played a crucial role in training American fighter pilots to effectively engage Soviet-designed aircraft in simulated combat scenarios, enhancing their readiness for potential real-world confrontations during the Cold War. The Red Eagles were part of a top-secret initiative known as Project Constant Peg. Under this program, members of the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps were trained to fly and fight against genuine Soviet aircraft, an opportunity that was both invaluable and unprecedented. This clandestine mission was managed by the USAF's 4477th Test and Evaluation Squadron, an elite group operating with high levels of secrecy. The squadron's nickname, Red Eagles, reflected both their specialized mission and their focus on Soviet adversary emulation. This elite unit operated a fleet of Soviet fighter aircraft, including the MiG-17 Fresco, MiG-21 Fishbed, and later the MiG-23 Flogger. These jets were either captured, acquired through diplomatic channels, or obtained via covert intelligence operations. Once in American hands, the aircraft were carefully restored and maintained to flight standards. Not only did Red Eagles pilots fly these enemy jets, but they also adopted Soviet air combat tactics to provide as realistic a training experience as possible for American pilots. The goal was to give U.S. fighter crews first-hand experience in encountering and countering the capabilities of Soviet aircraft in mock dogfights. In a tribute to this legacy, a video was recently posted on the social media platform X, showcasing a remarkable formation flight. In this rare footage, two USAF F-22 Raptors fly alongside a MiG-21 and a MiG-29, aircraft once used by the Red Eagles. This visually striking formation was flown in honor of Colonel Gail Peck, the founding commander of the 4,477th TES, who had recently passed away. The video was shared by Jared Isaacman, a billionaire entrepreneur, aviator, and commercial astronaut. Isaacman is also the founder of Draken International, a private military company that supplies adversary air support and training services to the U.S. military and its NATO allies. During the memorial flight, Isaacman piloted the MiG-29 UB Fulcrum B while flying in formation with a MiG-21 and two F-22s. In the formation, the MiG-21 took the lead position, a fitting nod to its role in training generations of American fighter pilots. In his social media post accompanying the video, Isaacman wrote, "If you need a distraction, and I do, I just found out we can share this from last year. A memorial flyover for Colonel Gail Peck, first commander of the secretive Red Eagles. MiG-21 leading. I was flying the MiG-29 along F-22s. You will never see a formation like this again." Colonel Gail Peck, known by his call sign Bandit 1, had a storied career. During the Vietnam War, he flew 163 combat missions, many under the cover of night. For his valor and service, he was awarded the Silver Star and 3 Distinguished Flying Crosses. Later, he served as a Red Eagles instructor, training pilots in both the MiG-17 and MiG-21, and also flew the F-5E in the adversary role. Project Constant Peg was launched in 1977, inspired by the hard lessons learned during aerial battles in the skies over Southeast Asia. In the Vietnam War, American pilots suffered heavy losses due to aggressive enemy air tactics, advanced Soviet-made aircraft, and the increasing effectiveness of surface-to-air missile systems. These setbacks highlighted deficiencies in air combat training, particularly in close-range dogfighting skills, which had diminished in the missile-centric strategies of the era. To address this gap, the Red Eagles program was formed. Selected USAF pilots participating in the project often experienced a visceral shock during their first exposure to a real MiG fighter. The initial training typically began with radar-guided intercept exercises followed by formation flights. The goal was to familiarize the trainees with the size, shape, and behavior of MiG aircraft, reducing the psychological impact of facing them in real combat. This process, referred to as eliminating buck fever, was critical in boosting pilot confidence and effectiveness. One participant recalled his initial reaction upon sighting a MiG jet over the Nevada desert. The first thing you noticed was how unbelievably small the MiGs were. Their engines emitted no smoke, And unlike American jets, they didn't transform from a distant speck to a looming fighter in seconds. You really had to scan the sky intensely just to spot them. Project Constant Peg ran until 1988. The 4,477th TES was deactivated in 1990 as part of post-Cold War budget reductions and realignments. Yet, the impact of the program was immense. Countless American pilots benefited from the realistic training, and many credit the Red Eagles with saving lives in later conflicts. The presence of MiG fighters in the U.S. military inventory has long been a point of intrigue. From the Cold War onward, U.S. intelligence agencies and military departments went to great lengths to obtain, study, and test foreign weapons systems. This form of intelligence gathering, known as foreign materiel exploitation (FME), remains one of the least publicized but most vital elements of national defense. The earliest major breakthrough came in 1966 when an Iraqi pilot, Munir Redfa, defected and landed his MiG-21 in central Israel. The jet, still wearing Iraqi markings and labeled with Arabic serial number 534, offered Western powers their first opportunity to examine the cutting-edge Soviet fighter. At the time, the Israeli Air Force lacked aircraft with similar performance. Its best jets were slower, French-built Vautour and Mirage 3Cs. Due to a U.S. congressional arms embargo, Israel had been denied access to modern American aircraft like the F-104, Starfighter, and F-4 Phantom. After exhaustive evaluation by Israeli engineers, the MiG-21 was transferred to the U.S., where it was redesignated the YF-110 and tested at the top-secret airfield known colloquially as Area 51. The jet became the centerpiece of Project Havdonut, whose aim was to develop tactics to counter the MiG-21, an aircraft that was proving devastatingly effective in Vietnam. The MiG-23, a more advanced Soviet fighter, was later obtained by the CIA from Egypt. The project, codenamed HAVPAD, involved reassembling and evaluating the aircraft, performing detailed flight testing to assess its strengths and limitations. This included analyzing handling, performance, endurance, and maneuverability. Over time, the U.S. obtained 17 MiG-23s, 11 MS models, and 6 BN variants. The initial shipment of 12 airframes was transported aboard 2 massive C-5 Galaxy aircraft. These acquisitions were part of a broader deal. In return, the U.S. provided Egypt with an arms package worth approximately $594 million under the Peace Pharaoh program. This package included deliveries of F-4E Phantoms and eventually F-16 Fighting Falcons. The true crown jewel of Cold War-era acquisitions came with the fall of the Soviet Union, which gave the U.S. the chance to acquire MiG-29 Fulcrums, a highly advanced fourth-generation fighter developed in the 1970s as a Soviet response to the U.S. F-15 and F-16. When the MiG-29 first flew in 1977, it demonstrated a leap forward in Soviet aerospace engineering. Analysts in the West took notice. The gap between Soviet and American fighter capabilities was closing. Following the USSR's collapse, the U.S. acquired 21 MiG-29s from Moldova, a newly independent and economically struggling nation. Moldova had 34 of the jets in its arsenal, and there were real concerns that financial hardship might push them to sell the aircraft to rogue states like Iran. To prevent this, the U.S. paid a premium for the fighters, comparable to what it might have spent acquiring American-built jets. Once in U.S. hands, the MiG-29s were dismantled and thoroughly tested. Of particular interest were the aircraft's weapons systems, especially the AA-11 Archer missile. This missile, paired with a helmet-mounted targeting system, allowed Soviet pilots to engage enemies at extreme off-bore sight angles, capabilities American fighters of the time struggled to match. Ultimately, the Red Eagles and their associated projects played a vital role in shaping U.S. air superiority. By facing and understanding the very systems their adversaries relied upon, American pilots gained a critical edge that carried forward into later conflicts and continues to influence air combat training today. And that brings us to the end of this fascinating look into the Red Eagles and the secret world of U.S. Air Force adversary training. If you enjoyed this deep dive into military aviation history and want to see more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.